have you ever wondered where all the ferns and foliages grow in your community? Well, today I have an answer. I am here at the Central Florida Ferns and Foliage, and I'd like to introduce you to their owner and founder, Mr. Ray Roberts.
Good morning. How are you?
I am very well.
Good.
This is a beautiful establishment.
Well, thank you.
Yes, thank you for having me here. I have never been in something quite like this. And as much as I do love plants, and I know that most people do, we often wonder, where do they all come from?
Right.
So how did you get involved? Where did the passion and love for plants grow for you?
Well, I think I grew up, part of it was growing up in the Apopka area. At that time, when I was growing up, it was a large foliage industry, and there was a lot of people that grew plants in the area. And actually, in my earlier years, I was a fireman in Apopka. And even in those days, I worked part-time at greenhouses and just kind of fell in love with the business. And always had a passion, maybe one day I can start my own business.
So you were a fireman at night, and on your days off, you had the passion and love, and obviously a green thumb. And that's how you spent your time.
Yes.
And that's so interesting because that's kind of extreme in the way of something that's green and calm and lush, and then being a man who's an active service for others. That's really incredible.
Well, it was just a love of the plant business is kind of what intrigued me.
Okay.
And we started out in 1990.
Yes.
Was when we started the company. I was working actually for another location in town on my days off from the fire department. And they retired and was going to move away, and I just kind of took their business and moved it and made it my own. And we started out with rented greenhouses, 12,000 square feet, myself and one employee, and that was in 1990 when we started.
12,000 square feet, you and one employee.
But 12,000 square feet is not anywhere near what we have today.
I know, but it was you and one other, and you were ready to go.
Yep.
That's incredible. And so then what happened from there?
Well, in 1992, my wife came to work for us. Actually, she didn't came to work for us. She actually came and helped us at the business. She took over the sales department and actually did all the office duties. And eventually, we began to hire more employees. We started shipping more. She took over the shipping department even, as I was mainly in the growing process of it.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
So that's incredible. So you ended up getting married here, and then you just began to divide and conquer, and you both have passion for the same thing. And so then your family grows. So not only is your business growing, right?
Yep.
And all of your ferns are growing, then your family grows.
Right. And our son came into the business, and
Wonderful.
He has actually taken over now that I have retired.
And so for the longest time, I know that you were passionate about all of the ferns. And that is what has made your product so great.
Right.
So tell me more about your ferns.
Well, the ferns, that was what we grew primarily in the early days of the business. We grew, I like to tell everybody, we grew over 75 varieties of ferns at that time. And the varieties was kind of what was our niche, because we had a large variety. People love to buy a lot of variety at one location. That's kind of was our niche at the time.
So then you had the 75, and then your son comes into the picture. And what ideas was he inspired by?
Well, we always grew some foliage in with the fern mix, but he got us more into the foliage industry. The foliage varieties that we grow we've got hundreds of varieties of foliage now.
That is incredible. That is wonderful. That's so nice. And so what I'm hearing you say, and this is incredible, since 1990, and even before that, you've had a love and passion, and a green thumb. And from 1990 to 1992, and your family's involved, that this is truly a family business.
It is, and that's what makes me very proud that it's still a family business and will continue to be a family business for years to come.
Right.
And it's hard for me to believe that next year we'll be in business for 35 years.
35 years, right.
Actually makes me feel a little old.
No, I think all of this oxygen and all of this nature is so good for the soul. And I think it's allowed you to also be on your feet and participate.
It's a great industry. I really love it.
And that's wonderful that you're able to inspire your son, and y'all are able to come together and to continue to grow the business.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
That is wonderful. So I hope that you are inspired to learn more about ferns and foliage. I know that there's so much for me to learn, and here in your community, there's so much to offer. Hope this inspires you to get excited about maybe having a little bit of a green thumb. So I will be seeing you next time.